Sports Snippets! Dennis Sullivan here. It is Sunday. It is the 10th of January. Happy New Year, by the way. Here to discuss the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-23 victory over the Washington football team. This game was played Saturday night, nationally televised. It was an awesome game, I thought, very entertaining. Both sides of the ball, really. I mean, it was really good, I thought. A couple of interesting points regarding this game going in, which, of course, I will gladly go over with you. But before we get to all that good stuff, guys, if you do like the content of this particular video, go ahead, hit that like button. Be much appreciated. Definitely helps out the channel. Also, feel free to subscribe as well to Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. That would also be very much appreciated as well. So let's get right into it. And yes, I do have my old school. There you go. There's some old school for you. My old school Buccaneer hat and attire. Well, not really attire. I got just a regular gray t-shirt, but got my Buccaneer old school hat on. And if you are looking into that, I really don't know where online you can go to get that, only because I remember getting this several years ago, and a store had old football hats. By that point, the Bucs clearly went to the current uniform style that they have now. And wow, now that I think of it, I can't even really quite remember where I got this hat. But the important thing is I have it. So let's get into the game, guys. Let's get into the breakdown. Going into this one, and by the way, great job by Ron Rivera getting his team ready to play. I thought he did a fantastic job this season, really. I mean, you look at Washington, they finished 7-9, and you know, a lot of fans and media, you know, just putting down the whole division, NFC East. But Washington looks like they got something going on here as we move into the future. And to start with that, they had the well-known pass defense, which really didn't hold up in this game. Brady and the Bucs figure it out. But going in, they being Washington, was allowing something in the neighborhood of only about 192 or just under 192 yards through the air per game. That's fantastic in today's NFL. That's pretty good, guys. So that was an eyebrow raiser, and actually a very positive sign for the Bucs, because they were successful throwing the football. And then on the other side of things, on the defensive side, you have the Buccaneers with that really strong run defense that held up. So moving forward, as we head into round 2 of the playoffs, yeah, whoever's going to be playing Tampa better be ready, because if they're going to try to establish a run, good luck with that, because Buccaneers are just looking really strong with that run defense. That I will say. Now, as far as a storyline goes, or a takeaway from this game, usually when there's a player that kind of stands out, or someone that just stole the headline in a sense of a particular sporting event, it's normally from the winning team. Not quite the case Saturday night, as Taylor Heineke comes out of nowhere, guys, and almost pulls it off. Throws for 306 yards, 26 out of 44, a touchdown and interception. He was sacked twice. He did a fantastic job, I thought. He also would be very effective running the football. 6 carries, 46 yards, and a rushing touchdown. So that was pretty impressive. I mean, do Washington fans have something to look forward to in Heineke? I'm going to have to say that they do, guys. I'm going to have to say that they do. That was pretty good. And you know, the game was fairly close up until the very end. Bucs wind up winning the game by 8 points. I mean, 31-23 is a pretty close game, and it was not just close in score. It was pretty competitive and pretty close throughout. Washington had trouble running the football. Antonio Gibson finishes 31 yards on 14 carries. J.D. McKissick, 2 carries, 5 yards, and a touchdown run. Steven Sims Jr., 1 carry, 4 yards. Cam Sims had a nice game for Washington in terms of receiving, 7 catches, 104 yards. He looked good. Terry McLaurin, 6 catches, 75 yards. Logan Thomas was good, 5 catches, 74 yards. Sims Jr. would have the touchdown reception on 3 catches, 33 yards. McKissick, 2 catches, 8 yards. Jeremy Sprinkle, a catch, 8 yards. Gibson would, out of the backfield, catch 2 passes for 4 yards. So one little takeaway on Washington football team overall is offensively they've made some strides. Because I remember watching them like a year ago, even earlier this season, and I didn't really see the firepower, guys. I didn't really see it. Now I kind of do see it. And I see some young talent. And who knows? You got a guy like Heineke over here. You know, he might come back strong next year. He was very competitive in there, and I was pretty impressed. Moving on to the Buccaneers and Coach Bruce Arians. This was a good coaching matchup, by the way. Ron Rivera did a fantastic job actually getting his team ready to play and go up against a strong Bucs team. Bruce Arians as well. I mean, he countered with a pretty good performance by his team. Seemed to have his team ready to go strategically, and also from a personnel standpoint. Since Ronald Jones goes out with the quad injury early, could have shifted the whole thing, but no, because guys, Leonard Fournette as a backup running back, I mean, that's fantastic. He's better than a backup, because I'm telling you right now, a lot of teams would love to have him as their starter. I'm telling you right now, Leonard Fournette's a good talent. But let's start off with Brady. Tom Brady played just fine. He would go 22 out of 40, 381 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked 3 times. Fournette was key, guys, in this one. 19 carries, 93 yards, and a rushing touchdown. That's the key. I mean, Ronald Jones goes out early. Fournette, boom, he just steps right in and plays like he's all pro. Antonio Brown had a carry for 22 yards. Keshawn Vaughn, 5 carries, 21 yards. Scotty Miller, a carry, 8 yards. Brady was credited, if you will, 3 carries, minus 2 yards. Mike Evans had a huge game for the Bucs, 6 catches, 119 yards. Buccaneers offensively can match up with anyone, guys. They're one of the few teams that can win a playoff game that's scoring in the 30s, maybe even 40s. They can outscore even really good offensive teams, and they can even do that on the road in the playoffs. That's how talented they are offensively. Cameron Brate would have 4 catches for 80 yards. Chris Godwin played good, 5 catches, 79 yards and a touchdown. Antonio Brown, 2 catches, 49 yards, but he had that nice touchdown reception. So everyone really got into the act for the Bucs, guys. Fournette out of the backfield, 4 catches, 39 yards. Scotty Miller, a catch for 15 yards. Gronkowski, not really a factor at all. He was targeted once, but you know what? That's going to come back later. I could just see it now. Like next round, next thing you know, boom. Second round, they're going to Gronk. So he really wasn't much of a factor in terms of his involvement anyway with the offense. But guys, now what does this mean moving forward? So we have Buccaneers looking to play. Now the way I'm understanding it, which is pretty straightforward, you're going to have a little bit later today, you're going to have Chicago Bears at New Orleans Saints. Saints win that game as expected. It'll be Saints Bucs. In round 2, if the Bears pull the upset, it'll be Rams Bucs. in round 2. Bucs should get a home game out of that as well. So definitely Buc fans have to be out there watching, or at least keeping track of that second round game that starts somewhere around 4:15ish Eastern Time Sunday in just a few short hours. So guys, lot to look forward to. I'm impressed with the Buccaneers run defense, and I'm very impressed, as is everyone, with the firepower on this offense. There's no way Brady is 43 years old. It just doesn't make sense. I'm going to have to just do a separate video on that alone. You should probably just subscribe to the channel for that reason, guys, because I will at some point do a Tom Brady video. But I mean, it's actually not going to be an easy video to do, because the guy is, it's almost unexplainable that he's moving around the way he does at 43 years of age. I mean, he's bouncing around back there looking for open receivers. You just watch him. Forget about the stats for a minute. You just, the eye test. I mean, it's unbelievable, guys. And then they show a statistic regarding Brady becoming the oldest player to throw a postseason touchdown pass. George Blanda had the record, and that was in 1970. I think he was also 43, and he was like the kicker who came in as, and also served as backup quarterback for the Oakland Raiders 50 years ago, guys. It's half a century. It's just amazing. I can't even, I'm lost for words when I watch Brady out there. It's unbelievable. Like, what is this guy doing? Besides staying in really good shape, besides being more prepared than everyone else for the most part, besides being probably the most intense athlete-driven person I've ever seen, at least on my TV screen, since Michael Jordan. And I may have to put him right there with Michael Jordan as far as guys that are just, they're just going to go win this game no matter what, you know. It really is amazing. So guys, I'll leave you on this note. I want to talk about how things work out here, of course. So I want to touch base next weekend, and we can discuss Buccaneers round 2. We got to discuss that. Are they going to play the Saints? Are they going to play the Rams? We gotta find and figure all this stuff out. So for now, this is Dennis Sullivan saying, I will definitely see you next time. Go Bucs. They got a chance, guys. They have a chance. They have a legitimate shot here. They're as good as any team in the NFC. I think they're as very much as good as the Saints. I also even think they're as good as Green Bay Packers. I really do. But we'll see how this all works out. Go ahead, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. How do you like the Buck hat? I want to hear some comments, guys. Come on. Let's go. Let's hear some comments. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.